It's Madden NFL 24, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Seattle Seahawks, and it comes your way next.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Evan McPherson has this one teed up, and off we go from Seattle. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Off of play action, here's Smith. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
A shotgun snap for Smith. Steps away. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem scrambling for 22 to first.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man-coverage were so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
First carry here for Ken Walker. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have...
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. 45 yards for Ken Walker. And the Seahawks get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they're brought out by the former Washington Husky, undrafted back in 2019, Jake Browning.
Every quarterback in the NFL has a little bit of his own signature style out there, but for this guy, he really plays the game in a different way. It's led to a couple double takes from us up here as we see him as something truly unique. It's not that he's just the strongest passer or the best athlete to ever play the position. He just has a certain way of seeing the action, and it allows him to make some special plays out there.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw, Browning. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him.
Pressure can come from all over when you're planning a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Here's Browning. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good
pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Darrell Taylor, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. So now make that a 2nd sack for them on this drive.
And Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Browning. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown, they got the stop, and now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 3. To throw is Smith. Rolling to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
Now Geno on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Throwing now is Geno. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case,
and he's going to go down again. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force?
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
On 1st down, Browning. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Browning. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down. Back to throw. Browning. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
That sack, it goes to Boye Mafe. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks are starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
3rd and 19.
Looking to throw. Browning. He gets this one to Boyd. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
But don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith being chased out left.
And he's got Smith and Jigba.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Throwing is Smith. Flush to his right. Past the 20. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw. And in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
Now it's Smith off the bootleg. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Smith now to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Now Myers for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. To throw on 3rd down, Browning. And that will be incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On now to punt, Brad Robbins. And he'll
take it on this side of midfield. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
Great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Smith. Escaping the pressure, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Sam Hubbard, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Throw out wide to Walker. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground.
Well, how about this? A fistful of sacks already. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. What an incredible start for this defense. If they keep this pace up, they could be looking at an all-time performance.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
Well, the Bengals offense returns to the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Browning.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a 1st down. Back to throw. Browning.
And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
On 3rd down, Browning. And incomplete on the deep ball. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Fielded at the 20. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sam Hubbard able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
That is caught. Down to the 10.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
DK Metcalf.
76 yards.
And the Seahawks are able to widen their advantage.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is up to 18 now. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field.
And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken from just outside the 30. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. On first down, it's Smith. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Here's Smith. Sliding out of the pocket. And the pressure gets to him again. Sam Hubbard, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's caught at the 25. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Bengals set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Looking to throw. Browning. Short throw to Smith. First target, first catch, and a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Browning working the middle here. That's complete to Sample, the tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Browning out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First catch of the game by Higgins, and he's got his guys a first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Quick slant caught by Chase. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Mixon. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Browning. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
To throw again on 2nd down. Browning. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Draymond Jones. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker.
3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again.
We're in the 2nd quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him. Maybe even have a 3rd person in the area and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while because I don't know that their talents are his because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Geno. Flushed out right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the 2nd half of this contest.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
And down he goes again. A bevy of sacks in less than a half. But this defense is still losing the game. They've got to fix something because there should be no excuse for losing with an effort like this on that side of the ball. They need to take advantage when their defense is generating this kind of pressure so early in the game.
Here we go.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Here's Browning. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming out 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people out blitz.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Touchdown Bengals!
T. Higgins.
36 yards.
And the Bengals get a bit closer.
Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that will cut the lead down to 15.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles, but they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Sam Hubbard, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Smith. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Now it's Smith. Out to his left. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Steps away. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
It's really something special when we see a quarterback top 100 yards in one half of football. And if he keeps up this pace in the second half, the NFL record for single-game rushing by a QB is certainly in sight.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Smith buying time to his left.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
Trying the left side with Walker.
And he's got this down to the 35. 6
60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Back to Walker on first down. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
On second down, it's Walker. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. They run again with Walker. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. A nice run leaves them just inches from a first. Could they possibly be tempted to try this on 4th and about a foot? And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And he returns this to the 22. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. To throw, Browning. And his throw here is incomplete. T. Higgins was the intended target. And it's third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now Browning. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing now is Geno. Rolling to his left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Their entire offense has been centered on him, and he's been carrying the load with ease. 100 yards rushing in a game for a quarterback is rare. In a single half, darn near a masterpiece.
Third and long, it's Smith escaping the pressure right. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Now the Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. It was Jaron Reed who got him down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. It was the former comeback player of the year, Geno Smith, who was sharp in the first half. He connected on 3 touchdown passes in those first 2 quarters, as his guys have built up a sizable lead here at the break. Both these teams going through their final adjustments before heading back out of the locker room. Time for us to go back out to Lumen Field, where we rejoin Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
A tackle made by Boye Mafe.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. To throw on 2nd down. Browning. They'll set up the screen here to mix it. Only a yard there, sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball, but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to it and hold it for just a short gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Browning. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Boye Mafe
Able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. So possession goes over here on the punt. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the 2nd half.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10
at their own 44. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So the incomplete pass there, but the roughing the passer call bails them out.
Which means you have to stay on the field on defense longer because you've given the offense free snaps, not to mention the free yardage after that mistake.
Smith on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Sam Hubbard in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Smith on the move to his left. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down.
Throwing is Smith. Eluding the pressure. And he can't get rid of it.
it. He's taken down. Sam Hubbard in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw on 2nd and 10, Browning. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Browning. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. The Bengals bring out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he'll take it just outside the 40. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10.
At the 45. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Smith now to throw. Flush to his right. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
This is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. Dancing to his left. And he's taken down inside the 30. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now Smith. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Cameron Sample
in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
On second down, here's Smith. Flushed out right. Fighting through pressure. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up third down.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Pretty good job escaping the pressure. Gets him 15 yards on the scramble, but now it's 4th down.
That's multiple times now. He's tagged them with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
Jason Myers on for the field goal. A 37-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Only 3 points there, but I got to think at this point in the 3rd quarter, that's all you're really looking for.
And right now the lead is 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. So you and I both know a huge order for the best of teams. And from what we've seen so far, hard to believe that that's a likely scenario. 3 two-point conversions? That's difficult.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Browning. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On 2nd and 10, Browning. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Leonard Williams picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud. Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And that'll be taken just outside the 40. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now Geno on 1st down. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Sam Hubbard in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. That time, Charles, great job keeping him in the pocket and not letting him escape.
And, Brandon, I think this was a great example of the front and the back working together, meaning the back covering, no place to go with the football, and the front, terrific job on the edge so he couldn't escape outside. And then, of course, the inside pressure kept him hemmed in as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Here's Smith. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. There's Sam Hubbard that time in there to bring him to the ground. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
A shotgun snap for Smith. This is Fant on the short completion. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They snap it to Smith. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. From the 36, Browning over the middle. He finds Higgins. And Higgins is going to have a Bengals 1st down as he'll get this up to the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Throwing on 1st down. Browning. Got a man open. It's Chase. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Here's Browning.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
But this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
The heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
Geno now to throw, being chased out left. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Balled at the 26, 2nd and 7.
Back to throw.
Browning. That's taken in by Higgins.
And now off to the races down the right side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
On first down, Browning dumps it off to Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
At the 46-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
To throw, Browning.
Throw right side into the hands of the tight end, Sample. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Browning.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on fourth down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. On 1st and 10, Smith flush to his right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a second down and 9.
Now it's Smith out to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try and escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end, not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
From the red zone now, Smith buying time to his left. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Throwing now is Geno. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Sam Hubbard in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Smith. Dancing to his left. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Cameron Sample able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
A 33-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner,
now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. But this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And he'll take this from one 47-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10. This is Mixon on the draw. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Browning. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Able to find the open. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Operating from the gun, Browning.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Reek Willen. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10
at the 20. Now Geno.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. 3rd and long, it's Smith. Steps away. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Here we go on 4th. Smith escaping the pressure. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Boy, going for it at this stage in the 2nd half, back in the shadow of your own goalpost. Explanation, please, Mr. Davis.
I'm not sure I'm going to give you a great one, but here's a thought that I had. I wonder if maybe instead of going for it with your offense and announcing your intentions, that maybe you run out your special teams and fake it. Because even though teams say, hey, we plan for the fake all the time, I know from experience, you look at the situation and there's no way they're going to fake it here. They probably have...
Touchdown! Joe Mixon, a 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bengals get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down? We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead down to 20. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
He'll buy some time right. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Play action. It's Smith. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Throw out wide to Walker. And the Seahawks are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll roll him out right. And he fins him, and he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
So on fourth down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Ooh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
throwing to start the drive. Browning. He completes it to Boyd. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up second down. And now they're in the hurry-up. Throwing again on second down. Browning. And his throw is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
From the gun on third down. Browning. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
On 1st and 10, Browning. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Browning. They'll set up the screen here to mix it. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 Lumen. Here's Browning. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Throwing on 2nd and long. Browning throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Smith going to throw it. And Walker has it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he gets it down to the 32. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Sam Hubbard in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other.
And he's going to go down again. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Rolling to his left. And that is incomplete.
Oh, he's been fun to watch in this one. He's made the correct reads all game long and helped stake his team a huge lead. Running, passing, he's made all the right decisions. But that wasn't the right read on that one. It falls incomplete.
On the move to his left. A desperation heave for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.